Every night, we lock Grandpa's door for everyone's safety. The house groans like it remembers what happened before, breathing with the wind, waiting for the clock to strike 9:57 p.m. We don't talk about the rule. We don't skip it. Mom keeps the key on a silver chain, her fingers trembling as the bolt slides shut. It's not about keeping Grandpa safe. It's about keeping us safe from him. The sound of that lock is our prayer, because when it doesn't click in time, the night starts whispering. Grandpa used to be gentle, soft-spoken, the kind of man who smelled of pine and kerosene. He told stories about old forests and names you shouldn't say after dark. When he got sick, we thought it was dementia. Then came the winter. He died, and the third night after the funeral, his footsteps came back up the stairs. Dad waited with the fire poker. Mom prayed. The door opened, and Grandpa stood there, pale, trembling, eyes wide and wrong. His voice wasn't old anymore. It was low, steady, hungry. That's the first night we locked his door. Weeks blurred together. He stopped speaking like a man and started humming in patterns. At first random, 10 rhythmic. When the pattern became words, let me out. We stopped pretending this was illness. My sister Anna didn't believe it. One night she left the door unlatched because she didn't want him to feel alone. I woke to a wet, choking laugh. She stood beside his bed, whispering, though only her mouth moved. Her eyes weren't hers anymore. The next morning she sat at the kitchen table whispering, "He showed me where the sky ends." Doctors said trauma. They didn't see the handprints inside her window glass. After that, we locked Grandpa's door earlier every night. The knob still twisted, slow and patient, like someone relearning how to use their hands. You ever feel something watching you from the dark corner of a familiar room? That's what it's like here. Every night, every breath. Once, I recorded the sound. On playback, there were two voices, both saying our names. Another time I saw his reflection smiling from a window behind me, though he wasn't there. The smell of soil and rust filled the air, thick and sweet like decay. Mom tried to bless the room, but the wood turned black around the frame. She started locking it at 9 o'clock, then 8:30, whispering prayers that cracked her voice. The house still hums. A week ago, Mom fell asleep with the key in her hand. By morning, the door was scratched from the inside, deep grooves like fingernails and bone. That night, I kept watch, near midnight silence, the kind that presses on your ears. Then came breathing. Mine echoed back at me, slightly delayed capide. I whispered Grandpa, and a cheerful voice replied, "Not anymore." The door eased open. Darkness poured out thick as smoke, moving with intent. My phone light flickered, the camera glitched, and for an instant I saw him standing there, his face stretched too wide, eyes slick and moving like things swimming beneath them. I slammed the door. It laughed softly. "You can't lock me out." I was never in. Morning came. The key was gone. Since then, I haven't slept. The whispering fills the vents, the pipes, even the water when it runs. Sometimes I see Anna at the end of the hall, lips moving soundlessly. Footprints appear in the dust, wet and dark, leading from that door to the kitchen. Once, I found photos in the basement, Grandpa growing younger, frame by frame, until in the last picture, he was standing beside a shadow shaped exactly like me. Mom doesn't speak now. She just stares at the empty chain where the key used to hang. Dad's gone, but footsteps still cross his room at night. The knocking has changed direction. It no longer comes from Grandpa's room. It comes from behind us. Last night, the front door unlatched itself. Outside, in the thin porch light, he stood over what wore him, eyes burning like coals under glass, voice calm and kind. "You kept me safe," it said. "Now let me keep you." The power died. The air froze, and something peeled itself out of his skin. I saw faces in that shifting mass. Anna, Dad, even my own. It was trying them on like masks. It whispered through all of them at once. There est no door left to lock. This morning the house looked clean again, bright even, but the door to Grandpa's room stood wide open. The walls were covered in hundreds of fresh handprints, ash black and glistening. Above the bed was written, "Every night, we lock Grandpa's door for everyone's safety. The clock says 9:56 p.m. now. The hallway light is flickering. Mom's asleep on the couch. The key is still gone. The floorboards creak overhead. Something is whispering my name. Closer every second. If you ever inherit an old house and someone tells you to lock a door for everyone as safety, you lock it, and you never ask why. Because once it opens, it spreads. The story itself is a key. You've heard it now. Su Jure. Part of Italiano. Tonight, when the clock nears 10, listen closely. If you hear the knob turn, don't move. Don't breathe. And whatever you do, don't look at the door. Long static hiss, faint knock, then silence. If you can still hear your own heartbeat, count yourself lucky. But don't celebrate yet. The next story is already knocking. Click only if you're brave enough to open the next door.